Right.
to resign.
Yeah. With the he had went from the Reds to the Yankees, and it's just arm. And it's funny because when you hear guys who played back then, I know Keith Hernandez is one of them, and it says it in his book as well. But a lot of guys who played during that time, they're like, he's the best pitcher they ever faced. But he just.
Did you read his book, Keith Hernandez?
And I read a lot of it in a Barnes and Noble. So, yeah. I didn't realize I picked up the large print version of the book. I'm like, hey, this reads pretty nicely, and that's what it was.
It was a pretty good book, or what?
Yeah, it's a very good book, but it's you have to be in that. I think you have to be of a certain age because he's talking about games and players that you would remember. I mean, none of these guys here, Mark or Cameron, wouldn't know these guys, but when he's referencing certain players that you remember, from that time period, it's like, wow, yeah, memory lane. Kind of. The same way if you brought up guys to these guys that they knew from their time, you'd be like, oh, when they're old, you're like, oh, wow, I'm thinking Brendan McCarthy, or something,
or Strawberry, or what's his name?
Yeah, but Strawberry's too big of a name. But for these guys, it would just be a guy who did like a role player kind of guy. Wow, okay, the third baseman who played for the Astros at one point or something. So.
Do you think the Yankees going to trade? What's his name? The Yankees catcher. What's his name now?
Sanchez, Romine?
Yeah. Do you think so?
Well, we got Cameron's a Yankee fan. Do you think they would ever trade Sanchez?
Not right now, at least.
No.
They have zero.
Right.
Who are you replacing Sanchez with? They have zero catching depth.
Yeah.
That's why they took all those catchers in the draft.
That's exactly right. Because when you draft a catcher in the draft, you're just hoping that one of them's gonna stick. Because if you have a good catcher who can hit, he's not playing catcher for you. So and if you have a guy like Posada, who was a second baseman but played second base with a frying pan for a glove, but was a good hitter, he became a catcher, kind of thing.
Yeah, so. That was Joe Torre's. What's his name? That was Joe Girardi's best friend, huh? Posada?
Oh yeah, they got along famously. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, Todd Zeile was always said to be Joe Torre, even before he was ever a Yankee, even before Joe Torre was even a Yankee manager. That whenever they asked Joe Torre who his favorite player was, he always said Todd Zeile. Because when Joe Torre was the manager of the Cardinals, Todd Zeile, who was a great hitter, moved from catcher to third base just as Joe Torre had.
Right.
So, Joe Torre once hit 363 and won an MVP, right? And so,
he was a good ball player.
He was.
Joe Torre.
I mean, that's why, he was a borderline Hall of Famer, per se. He got 2,500 hits or whatever he had. And Rookie of the Year, I think MVP, all those kind of stuff, led the league in hitting, all that kind of stuff. But not enough to get in. But once he became a Yankee manager, because it goes by the whole body of your career, which is why they like to point about Gil Hodges. Well, take Gil Hodges' career plus him manager of the Mets, blah blah blah. Torre would have gotten in if never playing the game, just as what he did with the Yankees as a manager. But it was what put him over the top to make the Hall of Fame. So
when do you think the Yankees are going to start looking for a starting pitcher? At the end of the month, or what?
Well, yeah, it's July. I mean, July. Brian Cashman does deals early in July. That's when he does. He likes first strike capability, so that's what he'll do. I think it's kind of interesting. Right now Cashman's the guy. He runs that. The Steinbrenners defer to him. Everyone defers to him. Even when he had the choosing the manager was going to be, Girardi was a threat to Cashman because Girardi played the game. Girardi was smart. Girardi had won. Cashman was able to get rid of him. Aaron Boone, if he wins this year, all of a sudden it changes. Aaron Boone becomes the new Joe Torre. And Cashman's got to defer to him at that point because Boone played the game. Boone's a success. Boone's a player's manager. Pushes all the right buttons. So it's a very interesting situation.
When he first hired him, I didn't really particularly care for him. But now I like him. Now I do. I like him as a manager.
Baseball lifer, father, grandfather, brother, baseball lifer gets it. Even he did something he didn't have to do when he tore his ACL playing basketball. Right. He raised his hand and told the Yankees, "Yeah, I did it playing basketball," which voided his contract. So he didn't have to do that. He could have said he did it, whatever, washing his car, as Jeff Kent once said.
Yeah. Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, before we go, are you going to be on this Sunday or no?
Sunday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Yeah, I'll be there.
Are you live? You going to be live or no?
I'm not going to be live. I'm not going to be live this Sunday just because it's July 4th weekend.
Yeah.
But next weekend I will be. So
I miss you on Saturdays, man. It's
funny because my wife would prefer I was doing Saturdays because I could do it. Saturdays at 9 a.m. doesn't really take me out of the house at all. But the listeners, A, we're older, and B, people who like rock music don't get up Saturday mornings. Right. So all the when I'm doing live on Sundays at 3 now, everyone's like, I'm so glad. I'm hearing people I hadn't heard from a long time are calling in. It's so great to have you back at this time, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So I guess for the listeners, it works much better, But
the thing too is you have a lot of I'm surprised you have a lot of listeners listening to that station.
Yeah,
Billy Joe, you have a lot.
Yeah. And now I actually have 2 businesses that are going to sponsor the show.
Bagel Boss?
No, not Bagel Boss. So I've got so I've got they're going to and one of them's a moving company, so I'm going to have the moving out special. You get 15 free boxes. So there you go.
You know what thing is? I don't know if I spoke. The Islanders draft party last weekend was a complete bust, man.
Oh, I'm sure it would be.
It was terrible.
They're not ready. They're not prepared for that. They're not ready for that. They're just everything they do is half. You know what?
Yeah.
So, because they're just putting their feet in the water. They're not really going
riding the wave.
Yeah, they're not really going for it. They're just so they have some interns who will go. Did they open up any concessions or anything?
I don't know. You know what happened? I called Beyond the Game on last week.
Yeah.
And I spoke to the guys there. I don't know if Nick was there. The other guy was down. What's his name?
Nick Hornberger?
Volk?
Yeah.
He's running out of shows, right? He's moving on, right?
Yeah. What's his name?
Volk?
Jacob?
The guy does Beyond the Game.
Jacob?
Yeah, Jacob.
Does Nick do it as well?
Eric Fischetti, Dom Arbolino?
Yeah, Nick does it as well, yeah.
Yeah, Dom and then,
Volk is leaving, huh?
Yeah, he's graduating, right? I guess. I don't know.
Anyway, he was. I asked him about going. He says, "Don't waste your time going there." So, some friend of mine went there. He posted on a video. There was nobody there.
Wow.
It was absolutely. It was terrible.
And they had 2 picks, and they made 2 good picks. Lou Lamoriello made 2 really good picks. So
they had the East Meadow thing tonight. I saw pictures. A lot of people looked like they were there.
What was that?
At the practice facility.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's why there was traffic on the Meadowbrook.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Unbelievable. And I don't blame Tavares. He should go someplace where
he should. I don't think he's going to. He should, but I don't think he's going to. I mean, what kind of do they have?
What's very weird is that he doesn't even spend his summers on Long Island.
No, in Toronto.
In Toronto.
Yeah. He went back to Toronto today, actually, in fact.
I mean, that kind of tells you.
Doesn't want to go to...
the dollar is much better than the Canadian dollar right now. The U.S. dollar is much better.
Well, when you have that much money, does it matter?
Well, all players up there get paid in U.S. dollars.
Did you hear anything about him going to the Kings? Did you hear anything about that?
I think the Kings would be a great place for him to go. I think to be in Los Angeles would be a great thing. But
they have no cap.
Except when
they just spent it on Kovalchuk.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. Now, see,
and they have a coach. Yeah, they do have a coach.
Who, the Kings?
Yeah,
only one.
Sutter retired. Right?
Only one team's missing a coach.
He wasn't with the Kings anymore. Who's that coach now? I forget.
Only one NHL team does not have a coach right now.
I think it's John Stevens, the coach.
Do you know who the team without an NHL without a coach right now is?
The Islanders.
No,
they got a coach. That's right.
They got a coach. It's the Stanley Cup winning team.
Oh, they're
going to hire their assistant coach.
Yeah. I just want to ask one question now. How much is the baseball cap for the Yankees? That's $180 million a year.
There's no cap.
There's no cap.
It's a salary tax.
Luxury tax.
Yeah.
It's $180 million.
Yeah. Is that right? Is it? I'm just trying to think.
And if you go over the revenue of that, goes to
it's got to be. Is it several years in a row? It has to be. I thought there's some.
They're under it now. I think. They don't want to pay it anymore.
Yeah.
And then, now, if they go over that, how much penalties?
I thought it was $75 million or something like that.
How much is it?
I thought you had to pay $75 million or some crazy number like that. And then even the list of teams that gets the revenue sharing is a revolving list. I mean, it's not the same list year after year or time period.
It's like the security It's like the security council. There's the 5 main states.
Right. Exactly. Okay, we're gonna get. Okay, yeah.
No wonder why they want to go down 7. I know it was so much money. Wow, $75 million.
Did you see? Who was it the other day that hit the roof at Tampa? Was it? Who was it?
What's his name? Frazier. Clint Frazier.
Yeah, Clint Frazier.
Oh, yeah, Frazier. Yeah. The speaker.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And now he's back on the farm now.
He's an interesting guy because he was a big piece in the Andrew Miller deal, right?
Yeah.
And they got him, and everyone wanted him, and he's an outfielder, and I think he's going to do fine at the major league level, but there's no spot for him with the Yankees. And yet, teams are going to expect the Yankees to give him away for nothing, and he's too good to give away for nothing. And he's going to be a good player, but the Yankees have no room for him.
I think this might be Gardner's last year. What do you think? Right.
He's playing pretty well, though, isn't he?
Well, Gardner, yeah. I mean,
he's doing really well, actually. He's a great leader and all that kind of stuff.
Why give these guys away for nothing? You know what I'm saying? They need, why give them away for that?
That's exactly it. I mean, the Yankees are smart. None of their guys that they trade away do anything, right?
No.
I mean, they're not going to do. So you don't. The majors are not littered with ex-Yankee farmhands who are doing well, right? Yeah. And I'm just trying to think of who's out there that's an ex-Yankee farmhand. There's nobody I can think of that's doing well.
What's his name, Bob? Biolti, what's his name? Nathan Biolti, what's his name?
He was on a Yankee farm.
Yeah. I mean, the one, Yolandis Solarte was a bad deal.
Tyler Clippard.
And he always winds up being a Yankee anyway. He comes back all the time like a bad penny. He's always back, yeah.
Unbelievable. But, all right, so listen, you guys, everybody have a good 4th of July, huh?
You too. Stay safe.
You staying home, or you doing barbecuing, or what?
I'll be barbecuing, but they got that, I used to always have my huge July 3rd party for the fireworks, but now my wife won't. And it's funny, because my wife always thinks I'm doing these things in preparation for the July 3rd party, so I got to be careful. Like, I got my stoops were fixed yesterday, my driveway was seal-coated, I had the house power washed, and the pavers power washed, and we had a leak. Ceiling was ruined in the living room. Got that fixed all yesterday. So she thinks I'm having July. I'm not having July 3rd party, but I'm going to have my son have his friends who over if they want to watch it. If they want to have a sleepover, because it's the best day for my house, because on July 3rd we got the fireworks. We got the best view, and the very next morning is the parade goes right past my house. So it's kind of that's kind of cool to do. It's like it's a great time of year, and even on the Sunday before, they have what they call the Firecracker 5K. It's a race that goes by. So there was a gentleman named, when I first moved out 15 years ago, named Nat. He lived across the street. He died in his 80s, about 10 years ago. He always used to put his sprinkler for the runners, because some runners don't like, especially the competitors, to get wet or have a wet surface. So he'd put his sprinkler on, and it would go. So a neighbor of mine and I, every year, though my neighbor was on vacation right now, so he didn't do it, we do that. I put, during the race, I have my sprinkler right on, so the race, anybody who wants it can run right through. Cool, and this year was really hot and humid that day.
Maybe you'll see a nominal at...
yeah, exactly.
Was that funny?
Oh, that's 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row at the 2 years in a row at the at the tree lighting. Yeah, I saw.
When was the last time you seen him?
I saw him at the tree this Saturday after Thanksgiving this past year, 2017.
2017.
Oh, again, you saw him 2 years in a row?
2 years in a row, yeah.
I haven't seen him. No, he hasn't called in since, huh?
No.
Remember the time he called up and he said he's in a secret location? Remember?
Right.
Davis Park. He said he was on Fire Island.
And he said that there's a call from a phone booth. So I think me and you, Chris, you figured out. The only phone booth that I know was that on, what do you call it? You know where the barracks are in Valley Stream?
Yeah.
There's public phones over there. That's the only public phones.
You know, it's so weird that the state police barracks is closed over there.
It is?
Yeah, in Valley Stream on the southern state.
That's a welcome center.
Yeah, it's a welcome center, yeah.
When did they close that?
Within the last couple of months, because now they built the brand new one here on the Meadowbrook, right just off the Meadowbrook. Right off of, right here, right by...
Merrick Road?
What's that? Merrick Avenue.
Okay.
Merrick Avenue, Post Avenue, Merrick Avenue. Yeah, right across from Eisenhower Park.
Is that by the Lipinski Center for Bosie's?
It is, same side. Very close,
but that guy was 20, he called up, remember, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That guy was 20. Or maybe, I don't know if he's dead or not. I don't know.
Right. So.
Oh.
All right.
All right. So have a good holiday, guys.
You too. Enjoy. Bye, Richie. Happy 4th.
You too.
All right. We are going to be in the top of the hour in about a minute. But there's Rob Rill, Mets fan extraordinaire. What's up, friend?
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you doing?
Good.
Host of Metal for the Masses.
No longer.
No?
Saturday is my last show.
So everyone should listen to
retiring after 11 years.
Saturday night at midnight, right? 12 a.m.
That's
so
right.
Saturday into Sunday, the last Metal for the Masses will be heard.
Ever. I'm done.
Wow.
I mean, I might do a podcast, but...
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Look, my time here at HPC is...
Search for Rob Brill. That's Brill, the Brill Building.
That's
Brill.
I actually have a picture in front of that building. It was my Facebook picture for a while.
Really? Oh, that's awesome. That's
awesome.
Kind of awesome.
So, yeah, I want to talk about how bad the Mets are.
Yeah, cool.
Why they can't get their starter a win for anything? Zach Wheeler should have got a win a couple nights ago.
I can't believe. I went out, came home, and then I see that the post came out. I'm like, oh, okay, it was a good win. All of a sudden, it said they lost. I'm like, they lost.
Their bullpen.
how could
Familia,
they lose?
Their bullpen has more losses than any other team in Major League Baseball right now.
Yep. I mean, to blow a Zach Wheeler great
gem.
performance.
He pitched a gem.
Yeah.
There's no